So what if I told you there are students out there right now pulling in over 100 grand a year from side hustles they started in their bedrooms? Yeah, it sounds a little nuts, but it is absolutely happening. And today, we're not just going to list off a bunch of random ideas. No, we're going to dive deep into 3 specific, proven pathways that are making young people an absolute fortune. We're going to see what we can learn from them. Let's get into it. And this right here, this is the key to everything we're about to cover. The big secret to success isn't some crazy revolutionary idea that no one's ever had before. It's just about recognizing the patterns that are already working out there and then making them your own. It's about studying the blueprint, not trying to invent one from scratch. So here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with that millionaire secret. Then we'll break down 3 incredible case studies: the reseller, the middleman, and the editor. And finally, we'll talk about how you can actually get started yourself. Right, so like we just said, the foundation for all of this is pattern recognition. We're not looking for winning lottery tickets here. We are studying blueprints. So let's see exactly how this plays out with our first real-world example. Okay, first up, we've got the story of Kai Towers. And his journey from a dead-end job to becoming a total reselling powerhouse is, well, it's honestly incredible. So this is Kai, and his starting point, man, it was really tough. His mom passed away when he was young, he never knew his father, and by his late teens, he was just stuck, completely trapped in a job that was going absolutely nowhere. He said he felt like a loser and just knew he had to do something to take control of his own life. And boy, did he take control. From that really difficult start with just $400 to his name, Kai flipped his life around and made $317,000 in a single year. Now, that is what you call a transformation. So the big question is, how on earth did he do it? He did it with eBay reselling. Now, I know what you might be thinking. eBay? Isn't that kind of dead? Not even close. That platform pulls in over $2.5 billion in revenue every single quarter. So what's the secret? Well, it's not trying to compete with Amazon on next day delivery. It's about dominating a specific niche. Think collectibles, vintage clothes, refurbished tech. Kai found his personal goldmine in gaming accessories, selling things like old-school memory cards and replacement parts. It just proves that old saying, the riches are in the niches. So how hard is this to actually get into? Let's check the ratings. The time to learn is a 1 out of 5, super low. You could probably get the hang of the platform in about a month. The money needed is also a 1. You can literally start by just selling stuff you don't use from around your house to learn the ropes and build up some cash. And the difficulty to hit that $10,000 a month mark? A very doable 2.5. Look, it takes work for sure, but Kai is living proof that it's completely possible. All right, let's move on to our next story and see how this all builds. This is what we're calling the middleman method, and it's perfectly shown by the incredible journey of Suhit Eamon. Suhit's story is just, wow. It's a story of unbelievable resilience. At only 16 years old, he was diagnosed with cancer. But instead of letting that stop him, he used all those countless hours sitting in a hospital bed to build a business with nothing but his laptop. And that business he started from his hospital bed, today it brings in over $4 million in annual revenue. He works with massive brands you've definitely heard of, like Netflix and Ubisoft, and he connects them with some of the biggest influencers on the planet, like Logan Paul and the Sidemen. So what is he actually doing? It's a business model called brand deal flipping. Basically, he's a matchmaker between creators and brands. He manages the entire deal and just takes a percentage cut. And why is this so valuable? Well, think about it. Creators want to focus on creating, not reading contracts. And brands just want results, not the headache of finding the perfect person to work with. Suhit makes it easy and convenient for everybody involved. And if you want to know why this opportunity is just exploding right now, this chart says it all. This is recent data from Nielsen. It shows that YouTube now gets more total TV viewership in the US than any single cable network, and a lot of times more than streaming giants like Netflix. The message could not be clearer. All the eyeballs are on YouTube creators, and brands are pouring money into that space to reach them. And checking our ratings, the time to learn is a 2 out of 5. I mean, if you already understand how YouTube works, you're pretty much halfway there. The difficulty to hit 10 grand a month is also a 2. But get this, the money needed is a 0, a literal 0. Suhit Ali is proof all you need is a laptop and the hustle to build connections. He started with absolutely nothing and made $30,000 in his first 6 months. Okay, for our final case study, we're going to follow a more creative path. This is the editor's escape, and it's the story of Tom Natres. Now, Tom's situation is one that I think a lot of people can relate to. He was in his university dorm room, just watching his student debt pile up and thinking to himself, there's got to be a better way than this. So he opened up his laptop and decided he was going to learn a skill: video editing. And that one simple decision completely changed his life. In his very first year, Tom made $100,000 in profit. But you know what? It wasn't just about the money. This skill gave him the freedom to get out of that tiny room and travel the world, working with huge brands like Coca-Cola and Nintendo from literally anywhere he wanted. But okay, let's address the elephant in the room, right? This is the question everybody's asking. With AI getting so good, so fast, is this a skill that even has a future? It's a completely fair question, and the answer is a huge, resounding yes. Here's the fundamental difference you have to understand. AI can imitate. It studies everything that's already been done, and it just copies those patterns. But humans can innovate. A real editor can create totally new styles. They understand things like tension and suspense, and most importantly, they can evoke real emotion. AI is an amazing tool, for sure, but it will never replace the human ability to tell a story that gives you actual goosebumps. Looking at the ratings here, the time to learn is a 3 out of 5. So you won't master it overnight, but you don't need years of film school either. Money needed is a 1. A decent laptop is pretty much all you need to start. The difficulty to hit that $10,000 a month mark is a 3. You'll probably start with smaller gigs, build up your portfolio, and that portfolio becomes your ticket to attracting those really high-paying clients. So we've just seen 3 completely different people from totally different backgrounds who all found incredible success. Now it's about tying all this together and thinking about what your next move could be. In this is the most important takeaway. The reseller, the middleman, the editor, none of them invented some brand new thing from scratch. Kai didn't invent eBay. Suhit didn't invent influencers. And Tom certainly didn't invent video. They just saw a pattern, a clear need in the market, and they applied themselves with intense focus to a model that was already proven to work. And that brings us all the way back to that millionaire's advice from the beginning. Success leaves clues. They are all around us. We've just looked at 3 incredibly clear, powerful sets of clues. So the only question left really is, which ones will you decide to follow?